I'm Claire Atkins here with Dan Weber after USC's 50-0 win over UCLA to end the season. I think we first have to start with the T-shirts that the guys came into the press conference wearing. Those said Pac-12 South Divisional Champions. What kind of statement were they trying to make by putting on those T-shirts?
You know, I don't think they made enough of a statement because they've also beaten the North Division champs. So why even have a North or South? Just call it Pac-12 champions at this point in time. You know, as far as right now, I think they can make as good a claim to it as anybody. I certainly think they have devalued Friday night's championship game. I think if I'm the Fox TV guys that have that game, I've probably got Larry Scott on speed dial. At every touchdown, I'm calling Larry and said, that's another $500,000 you're not going to get for the game. Man, what a game they've got on their hands Friday. Holy. I was thinking 50-0. 50 is probably a good number. It probably is more than the number of UCLA fans that are going to go to Eugene next Friday, if I had to guess.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of an uneven matchup. If any of you watched that game can tell. Well, tonight records were broken all over the board. Barkley passed Matt Leinert's record for single-season touchdowns. Robert Wood set the single-season receptions over Keyshawn Johnson. Records left and right. Where does this put this team in regards to the other amazing Trojan programs that have come through here?
I mean, I think the 2002 was always the obvious comparison with the team that came so far so fast at the end of the year, got into the top four with Carson winning the Heisman, got to the Orange Bowl, beat the heck out of Iowa, and everybody said by the end of the year, you know, they may be the best team in the country. If this team had the same opportunity, for example, had a chance to play in the championship game and had a chance to go on and play in a BCS game, but it's just the championship game, for example, for Matt Barkley. If he put together another game like he just had, he may win the Heisman. You know, I mean, it's really kind of unfair almost that these kids aren't going to get the opportunity. I mean, you know, the conference championship game has really no connection. It's not a bowl game. And for them not to have that opportunity, really kind of a shame, because you'd really like to see this team come back and play next week and play in about 4 weeks in a bowl game. They'd be, you know, I thought it was interesting today that so many of the ESPN Game Day people on radio or television basically said, you know, the only team that could challenge LSU right now might be USC.
And Coach Kiffin agreed that he thought that they could beat anybody. But speaking about Matt Barkley, the big question that everybody, of course, wants to know is if he'll stay and if he'll go, and he really had no comment on that tonight. But what was interesting was Coach Kiffin made comment that said, unless he wants to be just a special Trojan, there's no way he's coming back. What do you make of this statement?
Well, I think that's always been true, but it's even more so now when Lane says, and you can't not agree, that he's clearly going to be a top 5 draft pick, probably playing better than anybody in the country. Here the last few weeks, there's no more doubt about Matt, or doubt about drafting him. So, but I always thought that the choice would be if you come back, it's because you want to be a special Trojan, not because of how your NFL chances factor in. I think that's strictly about, do you want to be a special Trojan? Do you want to do something maybe nobody else has ever done before? And he would have the opportunity to go down in history maybe as the most beloved and maybe most important USC football player ever. That's a kind of a big deal.
Well, and clearly the decision of Barkley staying or going will determine where this team is next year. But what kind of motivation does this huge win on offensive, defensive, all sides of the ball take into the offseason going into next season?
Well, they're going to get an early jump on recruiting, and I think what it says is everybody that was recruiting negatively against us probably was wrong to begin with, and now, what's the point of recruiting negatively? If you're recruiting a kid, it basically says, we've got a scholarship for you. So the scholarship limitation, 75 or 85, almost doesn't matter to that kid because he's basically, he's on your list and you're going to offer him one. The fact that they can go to a bowl, the fact that they're going to start next year really high in the preseason, whether, Barkley comes back, they start maybe number 1. But I think they've proven over the years that they'll find somebody to replace whoever, doesn't come back. And I don't know, they've got so many guys coming back. I think the focus really should be on all the guys coming back. I mean, when they came into the postgame with 4 players, you had a freshman, a sophomore, and 2 juniors, no seniors. and 31 of the 33 TD passes coming into this game to wide receivers were the freshmen and sophomores. So this is an amazing team. I mean, people can't believe how young this team is when they start paying attention to them. I mean, the Oregon people last week were just stunned when the reality of 8 or 9 freshman starters hit them. They thought, how is that possible? I mean, I don't know that that's ever happened, a team this good, this young. It may not have ever happened that we've seen in college football. So.
All right, that'll do it from us from the Coliseum, where USC beat crosstown rival UCLA 50-0. Make sure to check out uscfootball.com for all your Trojan news. Thanks for watching.